All right, this is Intro to Inventor Sketching number 2, assignment 1.8. So just a quick tutorial for you. This one's a little more complicated than the one we did last time in 1.7. So this right here is what it looks like when it's all completed. Not gonna lie, it's might take a couple of tries on some of these, but let's give it a whirl. So first thing you want to do is download the template right here. It'll download. Hit the arrow and say open. It's going to open this up for you. Mine was a little quicker because I already had this ready. But in here we're going to do some sketching right off the bat. So some of this stuff doesn't exist yet. So in here it shows you what it'll look like when we're done. And then down in here, this is where we're going to make it happen. So first thing to do, in here, this is all considered one sketch. All this text, all these lines and stuff, they're all part of sketch 1. So however this is going to do that. And there's two ways to open up sketch 1 in order to edit it. So I can double click on it directly, like that. I can exit using finish sketch, or I can open it up like this. Either way will work. So this box right here, this first one, make a 1.5 by 0.75 rectangle. I'm just going to up here to use the rectangle tool. I'll click, and it will already give me this option. When it's blue, it's asking what dimensions do I want to add in there. And so I'm going to type in 1.5. Then I'm going to click tab button, and 0.75. Enter. That's one way to do it. Another way, and I'm just going to show you the option 2, is just kind of flop it down there, not really care about the dimensions, and then use the dimension tool to define how wide it is. So here's the height, 0.75, enter. Here to here, 1.5, enter. So that works as well. Okay. All right, so the next one, make a half circle with a 1-inch line and arc. So this one I'm going to make a line first. I'm going to come down like this, and I kind of like to just enter it right before I click. So I'm going to say 1 inch, tab, 90 degrees looks fine, enter, and then escape to get rid of the tool. So I go up here to arc tool next, click down, and there's 3 different options. I want the first one, the 3-point arc. Click there, click on top, click right there, pull it out like this, and once it is tangent, we'll call it good. I'm just going to hit pause here for just a second.
Did you turn?
All right, so back to this. So we've got this half circle here, and once we've got the arc completed like that, it should be okay. You hit escape, and now if I try to move this around, it'll stay as this kind of like half moon, half pizza shape. We've got it. All right, so number 2, or I guess number 3. So make a 1.25-inch circle in diameter. So I'll click up here on circle, and I could really use any of these, but I'm going to use just the circle center point. And click once, and as I come out, it's going to say how big do you want it. Say 1.25, enter. We've got it. All right. So next one, so make a symmetrical house shape only using lines. So we're going to play the doodle game. I'm going to come up here and use the line tool. And I'm going to make 5 lines. I'm going to go 1. And notice I'm going to try and make sure that I'm going at 90 degrees like this so that it automatically stays like that, or so it stays up and down. This one right here doesn't matter so much. And this one does. I wanted that to be 90. And that one I want to be horizontal. So click OK. Use the equal constraint. So go boom, 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 boom. It's a lot of clicking here, not gonna lie. All right, well, I think I got it. So, yeah, make sure this is horizontal right here. It is, great. Okay, so if I try to scale this or whatever, it's going to make a house like that. Pretty nice. So that's one way to do it. So if they're all equal, it'll automatically be symmetrical. Just pretty nice. Okay. All right, so down here, So copy and paste to fill the box with circles. So right here, this right here, I'm going to click that. And, well, actually, first I'm going to click copy. And it's going to say, what do you want to copy? If this is highlighted, I can highlight over here. And it's going to say base point. I'm going to click the dot right here, and then I can start moving it around. So let's go boom, boom, boom. You get like, 9 or 10 of them in here or whatever. That's good. So once you got that, you'll click done, and it's okay. There you go. All right, so move the triangle to fit inside the circle. So this triangle, I want to move it over there. I'm going to use the move tool. Click up here, move, select, so I'll highlight this. Base point, and this one's kind of funny. The base point is just like what corner do I want to reference? So you can pick any of the three, or the center. And then, oh, it's a little lag there, but then I'll drop it right here in the middle. Click done, and there it goes. We've moved it. We are the champions. All right, so then make a 1.5 hexagon offset from another hexagon, 0.25 inside it. All right, so I'm going to do the rectangle. This is going to be kind of funny, but hexagons, we can find the hexagon tool under rectangle. Rectangle's kind of the superhero of, like, it's a little bit OP. You can click down and go down to polygon, and hexagons have 6 sides. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to start making this hexagon, and it doesn't know how big to make it yet, so we're just going to drop it and say done. I'll probably have to use some constraints in here, like the horizontal one, to make it flat so it's not tilted. And then I'm going to make my hexagon from we'll say from here to here, 1.5, so 1.5, so it'll be kind of big. And then I'm going to take an offset. So this is a new one. We're going to go right up here and say offset. I'm going to click the hexagon, and then I'm going to come in like that. And I'm going to bring it in 0.25 and hit enter. And there it is. So offset's really nice if you're making walls or things that things are hollow or whatever. It's really nice to have this cylinder or a pattern that's repeated concentrically like that. So that's a super nice one. All right, so this next one, make an ellipse that mirrors across the line. So first thing we're going to do is come up to circle, hit the down drop, and we want ellipse. Click here, here, and then like that. And the size isn't super important, just as long as you've got an ellipse like that. I'm going to right click and say OK. And then I'm going to use the mirror tool. So up here is mirror. Say mirror, just like this. And then I'm going to highlight this one right here, so this arrow over here. I'm going to click and say this is going to be my mirror line. So this is what's going to be reflected across. And I'll click apply. If you get it right, it'll reflect across and be perfectly symmetrical. And you got it. Sweet. All right. So then down here, so it says chamfer a corner 0.25 inches and then fillet or fillet, whatever, a corner at 0.25. So to do that, I'm going to come up here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and then I'm going to go up here to fillet. I'm going to click, so this, and it should automatically go to 0.2, oh, that's 125. So I'll fix that in just a second. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to cross out that, edit this to make it 0.25. I'm going to pull that in. It's kind of way off in no man's land there, so there we go. And then under fillet, I'm going to hit the down drop and say chamfer. I'm going to click this line and this line. Oh, actually before, I'm going to make sure this is 0.25. I'm going to click here, and that should get it. I'll click OK. Just going to pull those out so they're not all over the place. But yeah, so it's like that. So it should be a round on that side, or a fillet, and then a chamfer on this side. Okay. All right, so then this one's kind of fun. This is the trim tool. It says we're going to trim away 3 pieces of pizza. So I'm going to go trim, which is right here. We're going to give the pizza a haircut. So if you hold and drag, it's going to make this line we're going to call the line of death, the destroying angel. Anything it touches, or, well, I think most things actually should get zilched. So if I come through here, notice it's just eating away those lines. So there's one piece, And then for some reason that pepperoni doesn't want to go, but whatever. And then there's this piece as well. So some things you go over won't disappear for some odd reason I honestly can't explain. But yeah, so just trim away some of the pizza like that. If you have a pepperoni or two like that that are still out, you can just maybe see if you can just delete it this way. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so that looks good. And then this one, so pattern the square around the circle. So this one's a little nuts. This one's super useful, and we're going to use it a lot when we do 3D modeling. But for now, we're just going to play with this. We're going to say circular tool up here, and it's going to say what geometry do I want. I'm going to come in and zoom in. I'm going to click all 4 sides of the square. So I'm going to go boom, 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 boom. And I think the center as well, and maybe even these construction lines, so that all of this stuff is highlighted. And then it's going to say what axis do I want to use or what path. So I'm going to click this red arrow. I'm going to click the circle, and it should automatically bring up, a bunch of these. And you can add more. So right now it's at 6. Let's see what 12 looks like, or 24. Though I'm going to caution you, you're probably tempted to do like 1,000. I would probably say don't. If you do, sometimes the computer kind of freaks out and it'll crash on you. So I'd say if you really want to try it, don't do more than about 100. After that, it starts getting a little bit crazy, and the computer starts lagging pretty bad. So I'd keep it under 100, and it's still pretty cool. It's like, yeah, let's try 50. Sometimes they look cooler. So it looks kind of like a truss system. Looks cool. All right, so then over here, so make a rectangular pattern. So a rectangular pattern is a pattern that goes in an X and a Y direction. So this is going to look kind of like an ice cube tray or like seats in a theater sort of a thing. So I'm going to say rectangular pattern. I'm going to highlight everything for my geometry. And it's going to say what direction am I going to want to use. There's going to be 2 directions I have to define. So direction 1 and direction 2. So let's say direction 1. And I can use a vertical line, and that's going to make it go up or down. You can flip the direction with this flippy button. So I go up, down, up, down. So whichever one is fits your paper better probably is going to be the down. This right here is the spacing. So if I want to space this at 2 inches, that's kind of far. Let's try doing 0.5. Oh, sorry, I messed that up. That's the number of copies. So let's make like 6 copies. The next one is the spacing, so let's make the spacing 0.25. So well, maybe let's do more. Let's do 0.5. So it looks kind of like that. And then maybe just do 5 so that's not off the page. And then direction 2, so I'm going to click direction 2 here, and it's going to ask me, do I want to go which side? And I'm going to go perpendicular, so I'm going to say this one. I can flip it side to side, of course. I want it to go that way. And I'm going to use the same pattern, so I'll say 5 iterations, and let's pattern it every 0.5. It makes a cool pattern like that. So you can change this thing all you want, which is pretty cool. You can make them very big, so I can do 50 of them, so it's ginormous, or just 5 like that. I can space them a little closer if I do like 0.375, like that. That's, oh, whoops, too many decimals. That's a little closer. So looks pretty good. So you can do kind of what you think looks good. Just as long as you've got some sort of a checkered pattern there, you've got it. Okay. And then last step here, last time we changed the assignment name and put our name up there. This time we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go up here to, if I can find it, text. Right, I know I can find it. I know I'm good at this. I know what to do. Oh, it's right there. Okay, text. So I'm going to click that. And up here in the top corner, I'm just going to make a little text box. I'm typing my name. And then the period. 0, because this is not a class period right now. And we'll say OK. And it'll just be up there in the corner. As long as it's pretty close and I can read it, you're good. So click Finish Sketch. And then you're going to go, then you've got it done, and we're just going to export this thing as a PDF, a PDF. So go File, and Export, PDF, and then save it to your student drive. it'll look like that. Mine's offline because I'm not doing this at school right now, so you just say, click that, and then you can save it. So, okay, that is it. And once you got that submitted, you are all done.